All right, let's take you to the nation's capital, where the Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Sununu, has called for a collective commitment to ensure safety in Nigerian schools. The minister was speaking at an event in Abuja to commemorate International Day to Protect Education from Attacks. Maria Mohammed reports.
Nigeria's education sector have been deliberately hit by targeted attacks from Boko Haram, bandits, and other violence in state actors. This has weakened the country's education system and produced more out-of-school children. Consequently, the federal government established the National Policy on Safety, Security, and Violence-Free Schools and National Minimum Standard for Safe Schools for its operationalization. This is to ensure consistent safety standards across educational institutions for the implementation process. This gathering is to shed light on dangers of insecurity as it affects teaching and learning in the nation's education system.
In some parts of the country have become victims in one way or another. This day that we're coming together to discuss these issues in a lot of detail and to work out strategies on how we can make our schools very safe.
When education institutions come under attack, they become the site of fear and violence rather than sanctuaries of the learning, growth, and peace. Parent trust is shaken and children's well-being is compromised.
Today, we stand in solidarity with those whose education is under threat, and we honor the resilience of educators and students who persist in the face of adversity.
This occasion is a reminder of the critical need to raise awareness about attacks on learners, teachers, and educational institutions.
These experts want Nigerians to know that attacks on education have larger implications aside disruptions to the lives of students. The group wants the federal government and Nigerians to create a safe learning environment for young Nigerians by working together towards a world where education is not just a right, but a protected sanctuary for all. Maria Mohammed, TVC News, Abuja.
The Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Sununu, joins me on the news at 7 for more on happenings in the education sector. Good to have you join us.
Thank you for inviting me to this very important program.
So the last 2 days, we've seen a lot of activities in the education sector, highlighting the very importance of that sector. Yesterday was the International Literacy Day, which is where I am going to begin. And because the reports that we have is that 31% of Nigeria's population is illiterate, and we have over 10 million, out-of-school children still. What is being done by your ministry to close the literacy gap and ensure that you have most, out-of-school children captured in the education system?
Well, thank you very much for having me this time and for joining us to assist us in celebrating the World Literacy Day. A lot has been done in the field of education to see how we can include the literacy rate in Nigeria. As of today, really, the literacy rate in Nigeria differs from one region of the country to other, with southern part of the country having as high as 93% in states like Imo State, while in the north is as at a lower level of about 30 to 37% in states like Yobe and many other states in the north. This is really of concern because globally we do know that education is the basic ingredient and the foundation for society to develop. And it's on that concern that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came up with the programs that will enhance Nigerians' chances to win in the progress of improving the literacy rate in Nigeria. You understand that the President came up with an 8-point agenda, and in that 8-point agenda there is a special focus on education, health, social welfare, and on that education, a lot is being done. Mr. President put it as one of the major thematic areas, the reduction of out-of-school children in Nigeria. And this is very vital considering the figure we have prior to the intervention. We are working with a working figure of about over 20 million, and in the last 1 year, we have succeeded in returning about 4 million Nigerians back to school children. And we are working assiduously to ensure that not they are only returned, but they are also retained, so that we can, in the next few years, our completion rate at all levels of education will see significant improvement. We also working right now to see how we can ginger the activities of all those MDAs or the ministerial agencies that are in charge of education at literacy level and basic level. You have just witnessed, you mentioned International Literacy Day celebration, which together under the National Commission of Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education Commission, NMEC, that we have sat down to see how we can also grow its activities so that it can address the need of our time. It is on doing this that the Ministry
Honorable Minister, pardon me to quickly jump in, because I don't want to lose the point that you made about returning about 4 million out-of-school children back to school and ensuring that they are retained. Because one can only imagine that that has now been compounded by the security situation as well. Just recently, we saw that some students were killed in a school, about 3 of them, in Yobe State. Security also, or insecurity is also,
yes,
very
I'm
just a minute, Honorable Minister. I just want to ask a question on, because today we're talking about the protection of education against attacks. What is being done to ensure that as you are trying to close that literacy gap, what are you doing about the implementation of the Safe School Initiative?
Nigeria is a signatory to Safe School Declaration, and we have also developed our own local effort on the Safe School Initiative, and we have also developed the minimum standard for safe schools. And these are all efforts. At this stage now, we are at the state of implementations, where we, first of all, we want to ensure that our schools are protected in terms of their environment. And going by what we have right now, and we are at the last stage of awarding the contract, there are significant provision in the 2024 budget to ensure that security within our school is enhanced in terms of fencing, security light, application of CCTV cameras, and many other things. And earlier last year I was in this studio, and I've made mention that the Safe School Response Center that is domiciled in the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps is functional, but as at that time, very few schools were linked to that center. But as of today, I want to tell you that almost all the federal government colleges are linked to that center, and a lot of states responded to circular that we have passed them that they should be linked to those centers. And the importance of that is serve as a filter in terms of collecting and synthesizing information that will detect subtle security threat, so that it can be escalated action to be taken with immediate effect. And that has been the addition. We have also gone ahead to ensure that all the military formations, security formation, in terms of military, Air Force, Civil Defense Corps, police, and even the Nigerian State Security Services have received their funding, and they have already trained and retrained their staff in terms of Safe School Initiative. It is really because it's a new entry into our security addition. So many threats are there. And it requires a lot of handling because we are dealing with young children. And in the school also, we have improved in our own local security strategy. We have commissioned virtually all the school security committee. And the essence of that security committee is to see how it can coordinate locally in terms of detecting early signs, early subtle sign of imminent attack, so that students can be oriented to what action to take. And this has really served us addition. And it's not only the banditry. When we are talking about attack on education, even school bullying and many other challenges within the school are all being addressed under this
all right. Honorable Minister, one wonders why it's taken 10 years for that Safe School Initiative, which was launched in 2014, to be implemented. But we have very limited time, and I don't want to let you go. But just a minute, Minister. I'm almost out of time, and I just want to talk to you about the new age for getting into tertiary institutions, which is generating controversy in the country. Now that we have you, is that a policy that the government is willing to review? Because some parents say, look, they have children who are special in terms of intelligence and genius, and they are good enough to get into school even at the age of 15, 14, 16.
Well, I think I'm about to come in to discuss that in your 8 o'clock to 9 p.m. program, which I was also invited since yesterday. And I want to say that we have made it that clear that as of today, no minister, none of us has said that you cannot write your JAM, your WAEC, NECO, MBIS examination, or even National Business Technical Education Examination Board exams, except we are 18 years. No. What we are discussing is about the age of entry into our universities. And we have seen a case whereby a child was admitted in one of our universities at the age of 10. We have so many of them at the age of 11. And then we have seen a lot of significant percentage of them ranging the age of from 15 to 16. Well, a lot of arguments were raised that this thing. But what you say, in most countries, you find that age is very specific in terms of entry of university. Where they accept
Honorable Minister, let me not
find that there are some conditions you must fulfill.
For having to butt in, but I know that you're coming. You said you're coming again by 8 o'clock to have that conversation. So we'll leave all of the details for you.
Yes.
So that, for 8 p.m. Thank you so much for your time. The Minister of State